Yo, what's up everyone? Sphiwe here from Graphics24. Welcome back to my channel. I'm at the workshop today. It's Saturday and the time is, let me just check the time. And the time is 13:36. This video is not about screen printing, but it's about digital printing on the Mimaki CJV150-130. I believe all series, the 150, the 130, the 150 and the 300, they work the same. If you're using RasterLink and you're using a Mimaki machine, the process should be the same. You see here behind me on the screen, there's a license disc, a decal, 90 millimeters in diameter. I will be printing 1,000 of those license disc stickers. I'll show you a quick process. I will be printing these ones. So I save a bit of time, and also not for me to hand cut these discs after they've been cut by the machine, to hand cut them into smaller manageable discs to hand out to the client. So what I do is then instead of having a one cut line on the machine, or the software rather, that kiss cut, then I will have a kiss cut, then I will have a perf cut. I'm not going to show you when these print, because I leave them here at the workshop printing and cutting while I go somewhere, so I won't be able to take a video of that. But what I've done is I've already printed a few for my shop. I'll be making silicone, or what is known as doming. So I'll be doming some of the stickers for my shop. I'll basically show you that process, how I do it, but I will not show you how I did the setup on the machine here on the computer. But I'll show you. I'll give you a quick rundown on how I did this one. But the process I'm going to show you for this one is the same process I did for those ones. I'll take that one now and show you how nicely they come out. Okay, so these are the stickers that I've printed for my shop. If you can see, they're already coming out on some other sections here and there. So basically that helps you out when you're done printing and cutting. So I'll just take one out and show you how it's how easy it is and how nice they come out, because when you pack them on top of each other, they look like business cards. They look like one. When you look at them from the top view, you will see just one stick. It doesn't matter how high they are, they just look like one on top, but basically underneath there'll be like 1,000 of them. So that's basically what I'm gonna do here. So without wasting your time, let me just show you how nice and easy it is to pop these ones out. I'll just tilt the video down now to show you that. Okay, so I've got the stickers here, as you can see. So now once it's printed, if you want to take it out, it's basically, this is a print. So what it does is I put two cut frames. I put one, then I name it a kiss cut. I put the second one, then I name it a contour cut perf. So that's the contour cut perf. That's gonna have the perforated function, so I can punch out these stickers. Then I've got the kiss cut, which is just around the sticker. So in this case, I didn't cut I didn't do a die cut and cut around each text like that, because it's not gonna work for me for the purpose of this of what I want to use these stickers for. I want to do a doming, so there'll be basically a silicone, not a silicone, a resin substance on top, and the final product will be looking like a silicone sticker. So basically, taking off the stickers, you just you can just take it out like that if you want, or you can just punch it out or pull it out like that, and there's your sticker. There's your sticker, how it looks. And then you've got because the stickers are basically oval shape and not a rectangle, so I'll just peel that one off and show you how they look. So you see, when I peel that one off, now I've got that excess that I don't want or need or don't have use for it, and then I've got my sticker coming out like that. Okay, let's see. I'm using my phone here to take the video. There is it. So you see that different whites there. So maybe let me peel it out so you can see it nicely. So now I've got my sticker. You see, I've got my sticker. It's an oval shape. I'll show you quickly. Excuse. Just try and tell this one on. Okay. Now I'll show you quickly me doming these ones out and the process of doing it. Here they call it silicone stickers. And maybe before I do that, let me first show you. I'll show you on a separate video how I dome these stickers, basically upside down. That's my sticker. But now let me show you a quick rundown of how I did the setup of this and how I'll be printing this one. 1,000 of these on that one. I actually checked now. I'm using registration marks size 6 millimeters, and the it's individual registration marks. When I use a whole registration marks, this is what I don't like about using individual registration marks. But unfortunately for these print and cut machines, if you really want a very close, actually a perfect cut, you have to use especially for a number of stickers or decals, you have to use the option for individual registration marks. Trust me, I have played around the settings for a very long time. For about a year or two, I've been trying to cut using the option for whole and cutting hundreds, 500 and 1,000 decals. I've got pretty bad results. For me, a 1 mil off is a 10 off. So with these ones, I'm 100% happy with them. Ever since I decided, for me to lose out on a 1 meter to 2 meter material, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to take to get this perfect cut lines. So yeah, basically that's it. If you use the whole mark, registration mark, you save between, if you're cutting like 1,000 license disc stickers like or decals like that one I'm gonna be cutting, you will basically save between 1 meter to 2 meters of material, of media. So I'm using the 1.370 meter wide media, and I'm basically wasting almost 2 meters of material just to get this perfect cut, but it's worth the waste. It is, I repeat, it is worth the waste. Before, I was like, I wanted to save every inch of material. Then I would cut the stickers, I would leave the shop, I would come back later on, only to find out that I wasted 4 meters, 5 meters of material, because when I look at the stickers, then was just not good to hand out to a client. Then I had to recut. And it takes time, because now you have to recut, like cut, if you want it to be as close as possible to being accurate, you have to cut like 500, anything more than a meter when you use the registration marks hole. It's going to start getting off track. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how much you can load the material on. I've heard people saying, if you load the material, you don't align it, you do this, you do that. Guys, I tell you, that might be, I don't know, but that might have worked for them. I've tried all the tricks. I've watched YouTube videos and stuff. I failed a number of times in that. So this method here is good. And the one other thing is, what's good about using individual registration marks. If the first piece like this one, let me show you what I'm talking about here. You see these small squares here, that and that and that. That's because I used individual registration marks. So if it was a whole setup, it would have been a registration mark there and there, maybe 1 or 2 in the center, and then again here at the end it would be 1 on this corner and 1 on that corner. Now what happens is, if you cut, for example, and then you say you start cutting and then you figure out, it's not cutting right, you wasted the entire, because once it cuts that one day, and then every time you cut, you're gonna have to go back to that first one, and the machine is gonna have to cut from that first one, because you can't change the number of stickers on RasterLink. Once you change it, it changes the positions of the registration marks. So once you change that, forget about having it to cut straight there. But what's good with this one, you can cut this one and skip all these ones. You bring the head, the cutting head here, you cut that one, you cut that one, you cut that one. So you don't lose out the entire printed media. You get what I'm saying? So you don't lose out as much as you could lose when you're using the whole system. That's what I like about it. It has its pros and cons. Like I said, pros, it's accurate in cutting. It gives you better control. Cons, it takes time. It takes a long time to finish cutting, because the cutting head comes here. It reads that registration mark, that one, that one, that one, and cuts. Then it comes here, reads that one. Okay, basically goes that way, the X direction. Then it cuts that, it reads same thing here, it cuts. Same thing here, it cuts. But with the whole, it reads once all your registration marks and then cut once. So it saves you a little bit of time. So for the whole, so for the con on this one is, it takes a hell lot of time to finish the cutting. It also, on top of that, it also wastes your media. You lose out about 1 to 2 meters. For me, I don't see it as a con, because it saves me a headache. It gives me a better and professional looking stickers. For me, that's what I'm going for. I'm going for professional looking products for my clients. I don't care about the 2 meter. I can make it up somewhere else, but the cutting must be good. Maybe in one of the videos I'll do is I'll actually show you guys how much you I know this shouldn't be out there. Maybe I'll think about it. Maybe I'll do it, maybe not, but I'll show you how much we actually make on 150-meter roll of this material. How much it costs to buy and how much you can actually make. I'll just take one project and then just run it down the entire, I think it's about 67 square meters. It's a 50 meter by, you can do the math, it's a 50 meter by 1.370. It works out to about, say, about 60 something square meters. I'll show you how much we actually make. So hence I'm saying I can do the sacrifice, cut that bit of my profit on this one. You won't feel it, trust me, you won't feel it. You make a hell lot of money with this medium. Okay, so yeah, let me quickly show you. Let me remove these stickers here. Okay, you see these ones I've already cut out, these ones I've already popped out. I'll see if I can still dome them. Yeah, in any case I'll have to take this thing all out and try to flatten it as much as possible and put it on a doming plate and try and dome it. Let's see. There it falls. You see what I'm talking about? I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got about 6 stickers here. But you see, when you look at it, it's all aligned. You see, we've got about that much of stickers here. But you see, when you look at it, if I align it like this, and you give your clients stickers that looks like this for their products. Packaging, the finished product is not always the print. The print must be good, must last for a very long time, must be nice and crisp. By the way, this is not nice and crisp because I used a very low resolution profile, but that doesn't matter, but it must be good. And then the finished product, the cut, the packaging to your clients must be professional. That's the motto I live by here in the shop. Must be professional. The people who work for me here in the shop from Monday to Friday, they know that these things must be good. These things must be good. Me, I come on the weekends here in the shop. I come in the afternoons around about 7, 8, sometimes 6 o'clock. I won't really say why I come around those times, but I can tell you during the week from 8 till 4:30, I've got other commitments that I deal with, but they're not for this video or for this channel. Maybe one day I will share why. But some people know, I know they might be dropping it in the comments, but guys, it's not necessary. You don't need to drop it there, you don't need to put it out there. I don't want to link this with that, trust me. So yeah, I come here on weekends, Saturdays and Sunday. Today is Saturday. I'm here to print these, and then my guys will then, actually not my guys, my 2 ladies who work here in the shop will then hand out that products to the client on Monday morning. Okay, so let's get this going. Let me put you, let me bring you close here. Let me bring you close there. Okay, so on I actually don't have a screen recording software, so you're gonna have to forgive me. I'll just take a video like this. I'll assume you already know how to use Illustrator, so then I won't be showing you how I made or created this design for the client, but I'll just show you how I set up the file. Let me switch off this machine basically. Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. Okay, so you've got your design here. Let me unlock the. I have already created. I'll show you. I know some people they use the shapes function. This one here, and then they'll put a shape on these ones, put a background, then you make a stroke, and then do a swatch, a spot swatch, and then color swatch, and then they name that one cut contour and so forth. I don't do it like that, mainly because I asked myself, why would I go through all the trouble when we've got fine cut? Fine cut can create the cut frames for you. So that's the function I use. I create the cut frames, and then what I do is I also create, after the cut frames, I also create the color swatch. I don't go and create some strokes and stuff like that. So let me first save this one and delete, and then let me delete these two cut frames. Okay, all right. So I've got a layer, this design on its layer, on its own layer. And then what I will then do is I will let's see. Okay, that's locked. Let me open it. And then I will, because I want a cut around this circle, but I don't want my perf cut to be here, because then my clients, I used to do it like that just to save time. I don't need to have two cut lines, but then my clients are struggling to peel off the vinyl of the backing. So what then I ended up doing is I have a cut here, a kiss cut here, and then I have a perf cut, a square perf cut around this, because this is a 90 by 90, and then so I make my perf cut 95 millimeters by 95 millimeters. So basically this is what I do. So I'll select, for the first cut is going to be the kiss cut. So I select the artwork, the background of the artwork, then I go to fine cut and I select that cut button there. Then what happens is, then this tiny menu here pops up. Then I do a 0 offset. Actually, by the way, you know, this one I'm not going to show, like I said, I'm not going to show you how I make up this, but this is actually now 92 by 92 millimeters, but the final cut is going to be 90 by 90. So I put in a 2mm bleed, even though I'm going to use individual cuts. You might be getting a slightly 0.05, 0.01 millimeter off or misalignment. So I don't want that white bleed, any tiny white bleed around the decals showing. I want that gray background to be what's shown. So then I put a 2mm bleed around it. But I'm not going to show you that now. But usually I make my, what I would do, or let me just show you because it's quick. So what I will do, after creating that cut frame, while it's selected, then I will change the size to 90 by 90. So now if you look at it, when I select it, I know you're not going to see it on the software, but the line is offsetted to the inside of the design by 2mm, so that I can get that bleed. So the final cut will be 90 by 90, or will be 90 diameter. And then that's my first cut. So once I have my first cut, I will go to the stroke. I'll go to the stroke section right there. And then I've already created the swatches. I've got the kiss contour swatch. I've got the perf cut contour perf. So this one we said it's gonna be a kiss cut contour. I'll select it. I'll also assume that you know how to create swatches. If you don't know how to create swatches and perhaps you want me to show you how to create a swatch, spot color swatch and name it, I can show you. But trust me, there's plenty of videos online on YouTube that show this, shows you how to create swatches. What I've learned it from PSD Equipment. You can follow their channel, and they've got great videos also there for how to use the Mimaki machines and how to work with your RasterLink and stuff like that. I know there's one video that's over an hour taking you through the entire RasterLink application or operation, if I can put it that way. Okay, what the fuck is that now? Oops. Okay, so we've got that first cut. So now I'll allocate it to the kiss cut swatch. So it's at the kiss cut contour kiss. You can see there it's magenta on my swatch. And then I will then now select my outer frame. Okay, I deleted actually the outer frame. I'll create new layer, and I will grab the square tool. I will just put a rectangle there around, and while it's selected, I will then go to the cut function on the RasterLink, or sorry, Mimaki Fine Cut 8. I will then put it at 0. I will not extract the inside. I will say okay. Then I've got a second cut frame, and then normally I'll just delete that rectangle because all I will need it for is to create the second cut. So now I go to it. While it's selected, I go and again select the cut contour perf swatch, and then now it's allocated to the cut contour perf. And normally what I would do, I always like to lock my my artwork and cut frames. When I'm done, then I save it, and then once it's saved, I then come to RasterLink. I click the RasterLink button there, and it jumps to RasterLink output. Then I would output it, and then I would output it as like any other print that you do onto your print jobs, onto your print cut jobs. Now that is the first step. The first step is having a proper artwork, selecting and making your cut lines, your two cut layers. I've got the kiss cut, which is going to cut around the artwork or the decal, and then I've got the perf cut, which is going to cut a rectangle around the artwork so that I pop it out nice and easy. And then what I'm going to do now is actually show you when it's on RasterLink. Let me point here. Let me show you here. When it's here on RasterLink, let me close that one. Okay, I've already set it up there, but I'm just gonna go back. Sorry, I'm just gonna go back there. So when it's here on RasterLink, there's it showing here at the bottom right there. So you click the first layer, and then you come to quality. You put your color profile or your device profile. And then I'll be printing this one at pass 8 or 8 passes, and it's going to be a bi-directional print. And then you come to your the printer is off now, but basically you come to your general print. You've got your image there. Then you can do all the setting up put in the number of prints or the cuts that you want. Funny enough, RasterLink don't go more than 999 stickers. I don't know what that it doesn't allow me to put in 1000. I've never bothered to understand why. I'll always cut the remaining one sticker later on. And then this is where I select the crop marks here, right here. So I will select this. I use basically the first one. I'm not sure if it's called Mark 1, but I use this one. And then I will select individual marks. And the individual registration marks, they're usually smaller in size, because now you're dealing with a 90 and your registration mark is going to be small. If I were using the whole option, which is this one, then I would have then had to use maybe a size, the maximum size 40 for 40 millimeters for the registration mark. And then, because if you use the smaller registration mark on a big job like that, you will have troubles locating the registration marks. Trust me, I've once lost a ton of meters of media learning that issue. And now then I always select a continuous. Maybe someone who's done this, I've never select search position first time. I'm a bit afraid because this one now seems like I'm using a whole registration mark. So I always use the continuous. So it first searches and cut. I don't know how this one works, so I always select here. And then once you're done setting up the image edit tab, then you go to the cut image tab. Then you will see here on top, this section. Now you have two cut lines. Now you have two cut layers. The first layer you allocate it to okay, my first layer is there. My first layer is the kiss cut. My second layer is the perf cut. So the kiss cut, I will select it onto layer, the kiss cut, which is layer 1. I will select it to cut 1. User definition, cut 1, then apply. Then I will go to the second layer. I will select it to cut 2, apply. User definition, cut 2, apply. Cut 1 is the normal cut. Cut 2 is the perf cut. Now, here you don't set up I don't like setting up stuff here on this one, because then for every job you must select the speed, the pressure, and stuff like that. I on my machine I have it set up to the defaults that I want. So my cut 2 has got the what you call the half cut section, the half cut function, the half cut function. So for your half cut function, you will then be able to so for your half cut, you will then, once you click half cut, then some other functions will come out. So you will have, I forgot how they call it, but if you go to PSD equipment, he better explains it than me. But I understand it. I've been doing it for quite some time now. But if you go to PSD, you will then explain it. PSD equipment on YouTube, you will explain it thoroughly for you. They will even show you. Unfortunately, now I'll be cutting this. I'm running late. I won't be able to show you. But if you really, really want me to show it to you, you have to subscribe, you have to like, you have to comment that you want me to show you this function. Then I'll show it to you. Yeah, you have to learn how to use the half cut, because it is going to ask you for two pressures. The pressure where it's going to be only cutting the media, the vinyl part, and the pressure where it's going to be cutting through the vinyl and the backing. And then you will have to put in the gap at how, when it's cutting deep through the backing, how far you want it to cut, or what's the length of that cut. And then the half cut is going to be where it's cutting your vinyl only, without cutting the backing, and then how far again you wanted to cut on that. For my setup, I have it set it up at 20 millimeters that cut through the backing, and then 2 mil for the cutting, just for the vinyl. And then remember, this is another issue I came across when I was cutting cutting a different media. I always thought it's the one setting I have to do. I have to keep on my machine. But unfortunately, when you're cutting clear vinyl is a bit tough. It's a bit stronger than the normal vinyl. So when you try to pop it up at 2 mil, it's just not going to pop up. You see, it's just not going to pop up. The backing there is a bit tough. So then I adjusted to 1 mil. You don't have to use these settings. You can use the in-between cut to be 10. You don't want to go, I don't think you have to, you must go more than 20 mil, because then you will have some paper jam issues, because then your paper will start picking up too much on the machine. So you want it to stay flat but cut through. Okay, that's basically it. I'm going to stop. I'm going to end the video here, and then send this job to my printer, and then I will be leaving the shop after that. So if you watched until the end and you've learned something from this video, please press that like button, press that subscribe button, press that bell so that you can be notified when I upload the next video. Yeah, I'll be thinking about what will be the next video. When it comes to the Mimaki printer or using the printer, I know the most challenge people are having is the print and cut alignment. Unfortunately, or fortunately enough, I have touched on it here. When I was explaining the individual registration marks, I have touched on that one. But I can do a video on how you do the print and cut alignment. The basic print and cut alignment using the print and cut origin adjust on the software. Yeah, so I'll be doing that, and then maybe in a next video, but that is if you guys want to see that. I know there's videos that do it. Unfortunately, for the Mimaki, it's not like the Roland printers where there's a ton of content on YouTube. For Mimaki, you have to learn yourself on some of the issues that you encounter. Even then, the manual that they have for this printer, it's as confusing as encountering those problems. You end up more confused than you were before you read the manual. Yeah. So some of the things you just have to play around them and play around the printer. Don't be afraid to adjust some of the settings, but just be careful with it, because you don't want to touch some stuff that is not. If you're not sure, Google it. Go on YouTube, go to the Facebook pages and post your question there. Some people, someone, somewhere has encountered the same issue you're encountering with. There's a lot of people using these machines out there. Just that Mimaki is failing us on these issues on videos, basically from our learning source, Mr. YouTube. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for watching. Peace out, subscribe, and be safe.